because there were so much of crisis in these parts of the country. Luckily, after those trips, and following up by some government programs, especially with the amnesty, we are today smiling and dancing and drinking. That tells us clearly that without peace, there will not be development anywhere on earth. If the environment of Okerenkoko was like what was in 2006, 2005, 2007, definitely we couldn't have been here talking about laying foundation stone for a maritime university, a dockyard and a shipyard. So we thank you for your understanding of listening to all the speeches made, that of the governor, that of the regent of this community, and my good friend, the IYC president. All points on one thing. Everybody wants development, and you cannot get development in circumstances of crisis. So we are pleased with this community. We are pleased with the Niger Delta for now. Yes, we still have some criminal elements. We'll discuss that later. But generally, the Niger Delta is reasonably peaceful, and that's why development is now coming in. Thank you. For the Ministry of Transport, I thank the Minister, the Permanent Secretary, and other management staff of the Ministry, and the Chairman of the Board of NIMASA, the DG, and all their team for bringing us today. Yes, for you to establish a university or any of this infrastructure requires the presidential endorsement. Without the President approving, you can't do anything. But people work to make sure that you clear the way for the President to endorse projects. And that's why I'm commending them. Yes, I'm praised because I'm establishing a university here. But if they did not work hard, it wouldn't have been possible. I remember as a deputy governor when Obasanjo visited Bayelsa State, and he wanted to lay a foundation stone at the Oloibiri, the first oil field, for a museum. I was there with the Federal Minister of Environment and other officers, I think Ajib, Shell, and so on. We got there where Obasanjo was to unveil the foundation stone, and he called the minister and asked, how are we going to fund this project? Explain to me first. And he couldn't satisfy Obasanjo. Obasanjo said that you want me to unveil this, so in the next 5 years, people will come and see this in the forest, and they will abuse Obasanjo. I'm not unveiling your stone. And he left. Unfortunately for him, his name had been engraved on the stones. So that's what I'm saying, that when departments of government work hard, when government give responsibility, work hard, it makes it easier for a president, for a governor. Because no matter how strong you are as a president, you need the people you have given responsibility to work very hard. Otherwise, people will not appreciate you. So I appreciate the Honorable Minister and his team, the Director General, the Chairman of NIMASA and others for bringing us today. And of course, we know the importance of these projects, the Maritime University, the shipyards, and the dockyard. From the beginning, this country started quite well in the maritime sector. But just like in the industrial sector, we lay back. So many countries that were ahead of them, Nigeria, we had shipping lines that were going all over the world, we couldn't follow up. Now we even have cabotage law that give a lot of privileges to Nigerians. But because we didn't follow up, we are not maximizing the gains we're supposed to get from the maritime industry. We don't have the required manpower, even investing in that sector, even the port facility. There are some countries that more than 30-40% of their revenue is from port transactions. And Nigeria is one of such countries that we would have gained so much. The number of goods that come into Nigeria is even cleared in Benin. because of the stagnations we have in our ports, which we are working hard to change. Those of you who are in development science, there's a new terminology that is coming up, the blue economy, talking about how you manage the maritime resources for the gain of society, from transportation to fisheries and, of course, leisure. So maritime business is a lucrative business. And as a nation, we have also signed the Nigerian content law. And Nigerian content law, linking up with the cabotage law, is meant to really improve the Nigerian business community, to encourage Nigerians to make money out of the maritime business and the oil business. All those roadblocks that our people used to have been removed by the cabotage law, by the Nigerian content law. For the Nigerian content law, Nigerians are patronizing. I think it is going on well. For the maritime too, it is increasing significantly. But with the establishment of this maritime university here in Okerenkoko, it will really help, because the issue of manpower is key. And we believe that this is a good thing. It will help significantly in terms of producing the required manpower for this blue economy. And this university will be, I think, the second specialized university this government is establishing. Since we come on board, we established 12 normal universities, 3 from the 3 states of the south that don't have federal universities, and 9 from 3 states of the north, of 9 states of the north that don't have federal universities. Then we made the Police Academy in Kano a formal university to award degrees just like the NDA. And of course today, we are now going to lay the foundation stone for a specialized maritime university in Delta State now to award degrees and other certificates to train people. Let me now use the opportunity to commend the President of IYC for your commitments. You spoke on behalf of IYC. IYC, the foremost youth group in Nigeria. So by implication, you are speaking for all the young men and women from Nigeria. You've made the request for issues of development, which we are very pleased. Without development, we cannot get anything. And I'm quite pleased because of your commitment to make sure that the Nigeria remain peaceful for this development to come in. I thank you very sincerely. I thank the regents for your commitment. You reflected into the past. I know this palace was partially damaged in those days because when bullets were flying across this community. I'm happy the construction is going on. But collectively, we will rebuild this community now that there is peace. I thank the efforts of all your sons, government, Gomufulo and others for their commitment to now use their energies, their resources, their brains to make sure that they work with government to bring development to this part of the country. Of course, the IYC president mentioned a number of things, including the traditional rulers, the regents. We are working very hard on not just coastal road, but a coastal railway system. Roads alone don't solve our problems. For you to provide mass transit for people, to move people easily, especially heavy materials and human beings, you need railways. Until we get railways, you cannot talk about effective mass transport system. You go to London, talk about you go, because anywhere where there are no rails, that's the cheapest way you can move people. Our roads fail so easily because of the load they carry. And that's why we're emphasizing on the coastal railway. I had that discussion with the Premier of China. who just left us a few days back.